Dish.
He's the hardest working man in show business. His band's music takes you into the midnight hours. And when you wake up, his voice is back on your radio alarm clock. How on earth did this happen?
Well, Jeff saw me taking out the trash at the radio station.
And he won another award.
But this one is better.
I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am.
It's the Morning Dish with the 2019 Radio Personality of the Year winner, Stephen Phillips.
You paying attention to this, Packy?
And renowned canine trainer Ed Abel.
I like horses, but I've always been partial to dogs. Big dogs.
Well, giddy up.
And Packy Smith's Shetland pony is right alongside.
You guys know these demo tapes don't just edit themselves together, right?
Well, all right.
3 cheers for Stephen Phillips.
Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're walking in with 49 degrees on the high today. Looks like about a 30% chance of rain. 29 on the low tonight. Dadgummit. I hate cold weather.
Did burn it?
Dadgummit. But anyway, we got, man, you and Harry going around this morning, wasn't you there, Mr. Ed?
Nah, I just have a problem with people who've never owned businesses trying to tell people who do run businesses how they should run their business.
What
But it is kind of the democratic way, isn't it?
What was you talking about? I mean, I was totally in the loop. You come in here steamed up, and you're like,
Well, no, Pat and Harry had a lady on this morning who's running for Congress or for the Senate Congress, I'm not sure.
Right.
And they were talking about, he asked her, do you believe federal government should be raising the minimum pay? And she said, oh, absolutely. Should be at $15 an hour, and no one can ever live under that. So I couldn't resist when I came in this morning. I asked Harry, I said, Harry, have you ever owned a business? And he said, no.
Right.
And I said, well, don't you understand that when you dictate a certain amount of money that you're paying, you're keeping certain people out of the workforce who could use it as an opportunity to better themselves and move forward. Take us. We started working when we were young.
$2 an hour.
If we had to work at
pumping gas.
Well, if somebody has
at 12.
Somebody had to hire us at $15 an hour, we probably wouldn't have gotten hired.
I'd still be there pumping gas at $15 an hour. I wouldn't move. Yeah, I don't know.
Anytime you mandate something for a business to do, it never really affects the business. They're always going to pass that on to the customer. You talk about like corporate taxes. Well, we need to have a higher corporate taxes. Businesses don't pay corporate taxes.
Right.
They just raise to fit that margin to where it just passes on to the customer of the business.
That's
the
like
same thing happens to the minimum wage. So anytime that you do that, that's why mandates don't work, because anytime that you do that, you're going to raise the minimum wage. Now you're just going to pass it on to the customer. Now the customer is the employee. The employee is making minimum wage, is paying higher things. It just evens itself out again, and now you have inflation.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to back that up a little bit. They said our pay scale is up 5%. Inflation is up now 7%. So actually,
we got a 2% pay cut.
And somehow Democrats want to celebrate that.
Yeah,
that's what drives me crazy.
I don't know. That Mountain Mornings, man, it's going to be a lot different. I understand that. I think Robin Webb's going to be joining that here in the next couple of weeks, so we'll be looking forward to that. But how about some birthdays while we got out there?
Who's Robin Webb?
She's this gal, but anyway, they were talking about it. But we got birthdays on the birthday list over at Brasstown Valley Resort. We love that place, no doubt about it. If you hear your name on the birthday list, give us a copy. Give us a call. Give us a call, and we will put you on a horse, or you can ride horses or play golf. We'll get all that out here in a minute. But anyway, I've not got a lot anyway. And the first one I've got, I can't even pronounce. Karen Machio. Close enough, Karen. Happy birthday. She's a Karen, so she's probably going to call and complain. Greg Spivey. I know Greg, though. Happy birthday to Greg. Clifton Smith, happy birthday. Chuck May got a birthday today. Cindy Carter and Pamela Kendall Floyd's birthdays today. If you hear your name, give us a call. What you got? Anything?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. This is Liberal Day for birthdays. You got Samuel L. Jackson.
There you go.
It's his birthday.
He's like the highest paid actor right now or something, ain't he?
And Kiefer Sutherland. And then to bring up the track for the trifecta of libs is Jane, Packy's favorite, Fonda.
I don't know. Now, I do like Kiefer Sutherland. I mean, I really do. I think, and he actually plays music too.
You know what? Acting-wise, I'm not taking away from any of them as far as their acting capabilities. But you know what? Stick to acting. Stick to entertaining us. We don't want to hear your.
He actually does pretty good. I'll be honest with you. Yep, I'll be honest with you. Hey, today is my day, man. National Bah Humbug Day. Humbug. Humbug Day. Bah humbug.
Nah, you're never going to pass it. We watched you. Your eyes light up every time people brought toys in for those kids. You went back to 12 years old, so I don't believe it for a
I'm
minute.
terrible at crossword puzzles. You doing good with that.
I'm not good at crossword puzzles.
Flashlight Day.
And nobody wants to play Scrabble with me because I make up my own words.
Well, mine just don't spell right. French fried shrimp day. French fried shrimp day. So I don't know. I don't see anything really good here today. Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. What the heck? Folks, we need to remember all them poor old homeless people out there. They ain't got a home. They're getting $15 an hour, but they ain't got a home.
Yeah, nobody, this time of the year, nobody wants to see anybody living on the streets,
Now,
especially our veterans. And people like that. But, too often times we have people that are creating situations in our government right now that are forcing people. What do you think about this whole mandate on we have to be mandated to receive a vaccine, but if you come over the border and you're illegal, you don't have to?
No.
You and I can't get on the airplane now unless we show proof that we have a vaccination. But we could come running back and forth over the border all we want.
I think
that
that's
is
a good
lunacy.
thing. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Just pure lunacy.
What is winter solstice? I don't even know what that is. I've lived here.
The
shortest
longest night of the year.
When is
Cold.
that? Is that tonight?
It was 21st.
So I guess that'd be today's the longest night of the year. The longest night of the year.
And it's going to be a
Hickory
cold
dickory
one.
dock. What's wrong, Patty?
Nothing. That's when the northern hemisphere is the farthest away from the
sun.
Tilted farther away from the sun. Isn't that how that works? That's the furthest it'll be tilted all year.
We're gonna be tilted. We're gonna be tilted,
man.
That's why we have the cold moon. Have you seen the cold moon out there?
It's
night?
cold out there anyway. I hate cold weather. I just hate cold weather.
I'm with you there, brother. I am.
Yeah, I'm with
Not me. I love it. I'd much rather be sitting inside freezing, paying a high power bill than I would be out in the boat drinking beer. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm with you.
you. Yeah, no doubt about it. We need to get to a short break. If y'all hear your name on the birthday list, give us a call, 706-379-9770. We got Mike Manning coming on today. He is an actor that has got a lot of stuff going on. He's been on Lifetime, what's them other women channels? Packy?
I don't know. I'm going to pretend like I don't know it. I don't sit around eating Nutella, watching those channels. No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Sitting around eating until I watch.
Do you watch the Lifetime?
I do not watch the Lifetime.
Do you not? What do you watch? Do you like the dog people?
You
channel?
know what I do? I listen. I watch Cesar Millan.
Who?
Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer.
Are you a dog
on the
whisperer?
Nat Geo channel?
So do you watch him and think, gosh, if I just played my cards right, that could have been me?
Every now and then I think about going down to the border and crossing back into the country and starting over again.
Oh, there you go. That'll work. Anyway, we got to get to break. Day is Tuesday. What
Young
is
Harris Water Sports.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about it. Y'all had better get, it's going to be 29 degrees tonight, so you better get your boat and winterize. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You
And they
haven't
got
done that.
accessories to go along with you. But what's wrong, Pac?
No, I'm saying
You don't think I'm doing good over here?
I think you're doing great, man.
Thank you. Thank
Just
you.
if you haven't got your boat winterized by now, or at least left it in the lake,
Yeah.
you might need to go over there and get you a new boat.
That'd be all right. And they got RVs too, accessories to go along with it. They got a big, large inventory. So, and now would be the time to buy a boat, actually, because I guess it'd be discounted, right? Wouldn't you think? I mean, honestly, I'm talking to you, Pac. Yeah.
I'm about to hit buttons, man. I'm over
Okay,
here
nice
ready.
button.
The Morning Dish.
The Tuesday Morning Dish is powered by Young Harris Water Sports. You want to deal with people who love boats? You've come to the right place. From a new covered storage facility to boat consignment services, it's all in one place with Young Harris Water Sports.
All righty, we're back with you. We got a giveaway. Packy's got a giveaway. What do you got,
Man,
Packy?
this stuff's good. Logan Turnpike Mill. You
No kidding.
love that stuff over there, man. The pancake mix, that's my favorite thing. Get the
Oh,
3-grain pancake mix.
I do the grits, man. I'm the grit
Grits are
guy.
good.
Oh, man, I love that place.
Grits are
No
good.
doubt.
Hey, right off the square, on the square, really, Logan Turnpike Mill. They do all that stuff in-house. They have the mill and all that. I don't know how it all works, but
They
it's
got
very
this
cool.
little
It's
thing.
delicious.
It's a little guy in there, and he's turning this little
Like a
handle
bicycle.
for $15 an hour.
Hey, if you go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com, and search for The Morning Dish, and you got to subscribe to the channel, and the first person to comment on there, you got to subscribe and comment Logan Turnpike. That's our little keyword there. We'll give you some free pancake mix.
But new subscribers only. We got something for those subscribers coming up later.
The old timers.
Hey, hey, y'all don't know this, but Mr. Ed over here, he does impersonations, and so we're gonna throw one at him this morning and see how he does. Are you ready, Mr. Ed?
Oh, Wilbur, we don't need a swimming pool.
Are you ready?
That was my impression,
Okay.
Mr. Ed.
Okay. We're gonna go back to the scenario. Carmelita, who's the president?
Who? Who's Carmelita?
The vice president, for God's sakes.
I said I would take crime off the streets, but I didn't say where I'd put it.
Who's the president? You're terrible at this, man.
Oh, Joe Biden?
Where have you been?
I don't know.
Oh, man. That's beautiful.
Who's Carmelita?
The vice president.
That's Kamala.
Not in my book, it ain't.
Good Lord. What did you just call her?
Okay, Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala. Who's the president?
Oh, you want to do okay.
Golly, Peggy, he ain't smart at all.
I'm doing my Camilla Harris impersonation.
Beautiful.
All she does is cackle like
she
a
really
hen.
didn't cackle that time. She's pretty upset.
Well, Joe Biden had a good thing that happened yesterday. He was asked about the COVID and about who was the president, and here was his response.
I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun.
You love that, man. You love that. I reckon Musk, man, he is, for all you folks out there worried about the world going to implode because of all the greenhouse gas, I reckon Musk, Elon Musk, am I saying that okay?
Elon.
Elon.
Elon Musk.
Elon. We're close, and I just call him Elon. Elon Musk plans to convert greenhouse gas into rocket fuel. How about that?
Boy,
So I'm saying let's burn some fuel, baby. Let's burn some fuel. We need some more greenhouse gases going up. He's why could you not do that?
Elon Musk announced, was it yesterday, that he's going to pay $11 billion in taxes.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Now, if you pay that much taxes, you ought to be able to earmark it what you want it to go for.
$11 billion. And they say, well, he doesn't pay. The rich need to pay their fair share.
$11 billion. I mean, if you pay that much tax, you ought to have he's got more invested in the government than the government does.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, honestly.
What is the government? negative $30 trillion.
I mean, honestly. So, he's like,
but our economy's doing good, guys.
Yeah.
Well, you listen to Nancy Pelosi, and she keeps saying things like, well, the government's doing the best that we have ever done, and Joe Biden is perfect for the perfect. Joe Biden couldn't be perfect for anything.
You need to lick your lips a little more if you're going to do
I'm on the radio. I'm in front of you two
I
guys.
said he
I'm
did
licking my lips.
impersonations. I didn't say he did good impersonations.
Well, I'm sorry, but that woman just sends me over the end when I think that we have people like that as our elected officials who don't even know what day it is. Good Lord.
I'm just telling you, man, that $11 billion, you should be able, like in church, if you want to earmark, if you donate your money, if you give you money, you can always, your tithe, you always put an earmark on, I want this to go to the building fund. You know what I'm saying?
That's, that would be great. And you think about it, if you could dictate where your money went to, you'd probably have a less bit of angst in paying taxes. But when we're paying money to countries who hate us, I kind of get offended by that. I'm paying taxes and we're sending it to countries who hate our guts.
Yeah.
That just makes no sense.
Why we do that?
And we have starving, dying veterans on our streets, but we're going to send it over to them.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I don't know. They're talking about raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour and 20 and all that good stuff. We got a Florida company offers 2 free homes as a work incentive for people to go to work for that. I think I'm going to Florida and get me a new house. That's pretty crazy trying to get people to work. They're talking about raising the minimum wage. We can't even get people to work, period.
I know. How many of our restaurants have been hurt in this area? Have had to cut back a day here and there because they're having a tough time, finding people to work. Hey, I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but December 21st in 1988, that was the Pan Am Flight 103 over London. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Over Lockerbie, Scotland.
Right.
That was a really sad day. We have short memories, unfortunately.
Well, just like 9/11. Think about that.
I know.
Yep. Think about that. So,
Hey, our challenge is still open. Go to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. And the first person to go on there and comment on our live video, there's a live video going on right now. You can go on Morning Dish, go to youtube.com, search for The Morning Dish, and you can watch us live every single morning. Go on there right now, hit subscribe, and type in Logan Turnpike in the comments section. We'll give you a free bag of 3-grain pancakes.
Oh, man, you can't go wrong with that. We got a Welsh woman. I have no idea what she's got on her mind, but she has collected over 1,760 Christmas decorations. 1,760 Christmas. What in the world?
1,700?
1,760 Christmas decorations.
That's definitely in the Christmas spirit, isn't it?
I mean, that'd be a lot of fun, I guess, putting up. But could you imagine how to take all that junk back down? Unless you're a redneck, you just leave it up year round.
All year, yeah.
Yeah, leave it up year round. Y'all been out and seen any of the Christmas lights?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
Got
no,
7M
bah
Farms.
humbug over here's bah humbug day. I don't know. We got a family Rudolph decoration. I reckon out in the yard is repeatedly attacked by real deer. They've got this. They got this Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer out in the front yard as a decoration, and real deer are attacking it.
Where's that at?
Out in the yard. I mean, out in the yard.
No, where does it say where it's located?
Well, it's a little spinny thing. Probably up north. You know how them deer are up
That's
north.
what I'm thinking. Someplace like in Vermont.
That's pretty crazy, though. Is that not bullying? Is that not bullying? Because poor Rudolph gets bullied. He was bullied his whole life.
He was, and we
Nobody
understand
wanted to
that-
play reindeer games.
And Dr. Phil doesn't even want to take his calls to help him out.
Ain't Dr. Phil running for president? Or
That's Dr. Oz,
Oz. What's he running for? Oz?
Pennsylvania senator, right?
I have no idea. Poor Rudolph. I feel sorry for Rudolph. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. Nobody want to play any reindeer games like Monopoly. Y'all do that?
Speaking of games, do you know
Going
in
in bound in history
1891?
like George Washington.
Do you know what happened in 1891?
Oh, yeah, I remember that just like yesterday. Are you stupid? I know. I don't know what happened back in
The
1891.
first basketball game was played.
Oh,
Packy, you should know
boy.
that.
Yeah, why would Packy
Yeah,
do that? He
Lil Pasties, all about basketball.
I'm going to tell you what, December 21st, 1891, 30-year-old James Naismith introduced the first game of basketball based on 13 rules created by Naismith. The game is tested by 18 students at the International Young Men's Christian Association, used to be known as the YMCA.
Really?
Yeah.
Basketball.
In
Did you play
Springfield,
basketball?
Massachusetts. I'm sorry?
Did you play basketball?
Oh, yeah. God, yeah. I'm from New England. Of course I played basketball.
Oh, y'all play basketball in New
A
England?
lot of basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
We always crossed it up. We get in, and we crossed it up with football, so we tackle, which was so much more fun.
Isn't that redneck basketball?
I guess it is. We didn't dribble. We just run from one end to the other. We had a couple of broken arms and stuff like that, but that was a whole lot more fun. But that's all you got?
Well, no, there's all kinds of interesting things. I was a little depressed this morning because one of the books that I thrived on in school, now, a
When
lot of
Harry
you are
Met
probably
Sally?
think, no, it was actually Curious George. The
Oh, Curious
author
George.
passed away back in 1990 on this date.
Curious George, he was picked on too.
But you know what's cool about it is I think it's interesting when you watch little kids at the library, and they're reading Curious George, and you can relate because I think all of us
Come on
read
in out
Curious
there.
George.
Yeah, we had.
Steven's over there. Yeah, that kid thinks he's so cool. with his
I read that book 6 times.
Hey, check this out. Ohio. We know how y'all folks are from up Ohio. The police are searching for a stolen 58-foot bridge. How the God's world do you steal a bridge? I mean, you know, I've left my car.
Why do you steal a bridge?
I left my car in the parking lot and come back out and there wasn't no parts left on it, but a bridge? And what the heck you going to do with a bridge? Looks like they could see it going down the interstate or something. You know, you'd have to haul that thing somehow.
I guess they found it.
They
Somebody
did find
was
it?
charged. Yeah, someone was charged for it.
Well, I mean, but honestly, how could you not miss it? It'd be like, hey, look, somebody just got a 58-foot bridge in their backyard. That's crazy.
Well, it could be worse. Could have a parking lot.
Which way did it go, George? Which way did it go? Dang,
Can
Fanny.
you describe that bridge for us?
Somebody just stole that bridge.
Can you imagine the officer taking the report? Could you describe that bridge?
Well, it's a large bridge-like looking object.
Yeah. Shazam. Anyway, folks, we got to get to break. We got Mike Manning waiting in the wings. We're going to get him on next. And like I said, he's got a lot of stuff going on. We appreciate him doing that. Actually, that Padopio, I can't even say I can't say nobody.
Papadopoulos.
Yeah. No, Padopio. The guy that did our that reviewed us up in New York City, he actually set this thing up for us. Marco Padopio.
The ladies love Mike Manning.
They do. Yeah. They like all that women hater channel. What's it called? The
View.
We?
Women Entertainment.
Yeah, I guess it is. Anyway, hey, we got to thank who we thanking today, Packy?
Young Harris Water
Young
Sports.
Harris Water Sports. It's coming. It's right over my shoulder here. Young Harris Water Sports. They have got, that's the cool thing about it. They got RVs too. Not only do they have water sports, but they got RVs where you can sit and watch all the water sports out there. So anyway, go by, give them a call, check out all the stuff they got going on, get your boat winterized, and tell them we sent you. All right, folks, we're back with you, and we have got a heavy hitter with us. I'm not kidding you. We have got a Daytime Emmy Award winner for Daytime Drama Series, not to mention all the movies he's been involved in. I mean, The Call, The Son of the South, Days of Our Lives, and he's got a new movie he's want to talk about. But Mike Manning, how are you?
I'm good, Steven. Thanks for having me.
Wow, no wonder you're on Days of Our Lives because you're pretty.
Thank you. I'll be called worse, so I'll take that.
No, my wife says, "Oh, he's adorable," so that's a good thing. Yeah, golly.
Cool.
Yeah. So, how's the world treating you out in California? Y'all open back up a little bit?
Yeah. It's been better lately. For a while there, it was pretty rough. We couldn't go anywhere, really. And then now, that everybody's been vaccinated, the restaurants have opened up, and that's pretty nice. It was the hardest thing for me was to see a lot of my community and small businesses really struggling during the pandemic, struggling to stay open. There was a while there that every couple of weeks I would get an email that my favorite bar or my favorite restaurant or something had closed down permanently. Right. And that was kind of depressing because, these people work so hard, and, to have their life's work be shut down because of something that's out of their control is not really fair.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you something now. You were in the movie The Son of the South.
Yeah.
Did they shoot that in Alabama? Where did they shoot that movie?
Yeah, we shot that in Alabama, which was great because in the movie I had like a southern, I was from Mobile, Alabama.
There you go.
And so we I got to go down there a week in advance, and I talked to a bunch of the community there, and it's a historical piece essentially about the civil rights movement in the Deep South in the 60s in Alabama through the eyes of these college students. And so I was really able to get to know the community, get to know the people, get to know the history a bit before we started filming. And I think that added to the character, added to the story for me.
Well, that's one of the things. So you got that Southern accent. Of course, you're actually born in Florida. You were there as a kid. So, I mean, you can kind of pick up on that Southern. I hate to see somebody that's from up north try to take on a Southern accent. It just don't work.
Yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that. I think in another life, I was a Southern, like a good old country boy.
There you go.
Just ever since I was little, that was my favorite accent to sort of slip into.
Yeah.
I dated somebody when I did this internship at Disney World when I was 19, and I dated this girl from West Virginia. And every time we would hang out, I would kind of slip into this little twang kind of thing going on. And I just thought I was like, man, I really wish I could just talk like this all the time. It's just such a fun way to.
Oh, it's the sexiest voice in the world. Are you kidding? Come on.
Of course you say that.
One of the things though, if I'm not mistaken, you worked with Brian Dennehy was in that movie too, was he not?
He was. I think it was his last movie or one of his last movies. Yeah.
I think it was his last movie. I love Brian Dennehy, but did you get to work with him much?
So, yes. So he was in the scene that I was in. I played the best friend of Lucas Till, who was the lead of the movie. And Lucas, he was MacGyver in the show MacGyver. Right. He's a great actor. He was also in X-Men. So I play his best friend in the movie, and Brian Dennehy played his grandfather. Right. So there was a scene where he's talking to Brian Dennehy, and then he turns around and he comes over and he starts talking to me. And so I didn't actually have any scenes directly with Brian Dennehy, just he and I, but we worked in the same, we were in the same, I guess we were in the same scene together, just continuous. But then of course, when the cameras were off, I got to go talk to him and tell him how much I liked his work over the years. And, he's just such a tremendous actor. It was such a loss. And the cool thing about working with Brian is, he was getting up there. He was an older man. Right. And so he would lean on things, or he had a cane sometimes, and he had an umbrella to somebody was holding an umbrella to protect him from the sun. And you look at him and you're like, wow, he's an old man, and he's, kind of tired. But as soon as the cameras turned on and as soon as the director yelled action, he was laser focused, and he stood up straight, laser focused, didn't miss a beat, knew all his words. And it was just, I remember looking at him being like, damn, I never have any excuse to not be on my game, because this man, look at this man right here, the camera yells action and he just goes for it. And that was a really cool thing to see.
But you're a young man. You got quite a bit of stuff under your belt already as far as acting. I mean, the Real World. I mean, you were in Teen Wolf, it says, and then The Call, Days of Our Lives. You're recording in that. But now you're actually a producer So how did you get in? How did you go from acting into producing? Is that just kind of something that just fell into you, or something you wanted to always do?
Yeah. I've been producing. I've been in LA now for 11 years.
Right.
Moved out to Los Angeles from Colorado, and after a couple years here, I mean, I got lucky. I'll say I got lucky, and I started working. And you know what do they say? Like, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Like I do. One thing I will say about myself is I do work my ass off.
Right.
I work hard. I don't take anything for granted. And after a couple years, I started booking roles. I was on a Disney show, and then I did a Disney movie, and then I did some guest star on like Hawaii Five-0 and Major Crimes, and I started building my resume. But there's, even if you're busy, especially starting out, you have so much free time. And so I started thinking about what kind of stories do I want to be a part of, and what kind of stories do I want to tell. And I decided to form a production company with a friend of mine so that we could start writing together, we could start producing together, and spend our time that we're not acting, and sort of take some of that power back. So much of the entertainment industry is just waiting by the phone,
Right.
waiting for somebody else to invite you to be a part of their project. And I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. I want to make my own stuff, and tell my own stories. And in the beginning, I actually started producing social cause documentaries. So it was documentary films about things that I cared about, and that was really cool because that really opened up my Rolodex in Hollywood, because I started attending events, and I started going places, and people wouldn't see me as some young actor looking for a job. They saw me as this passionate person talking about these social issues and making movies about them. And I honestly think that helped me form some of my most valuable relationships in Hollywood, just because I was somebody that wasn't begging for a job. I was talking to people about things that I actually cared about.
Right.
And meant.
Well, I mean, that's cool. There's no doubt. But now that's kind of, you've got this new movie that you've actually are producing called, what is it? Slapface. What is that? What is Slapface?
So Slapface is great. This was one of the first movies that I took from start to finish. I found the script through a friend of mine. I worked with the writer-director, Jeremiah Kipp, to make the script something that we were both excited about. I raised the financing. I cast the movie. We shot the movie. I sold the movie. So it was really, I was the captain of the ship on this one, and I'm really, really proud of how it's doing. We premiered at CineQuest earlier this year, and we won the festival. We played Fright Fest and Grimfest in the UK, and we won some awards there. And the film's being really well received. It's actually coming out in February, I believe, early next year on Shudder. So Shudder is like the Netflix for horror content. And the cool thing about this movie is that if you're looking to go see a horror thriller, it has everything. It's not going to disappoint you as a horror fan. So you go there, and it's essentially, the movie is about a 12-year-old boy who is picked on, and he doesn't have his parents. He lost his parents. He lives with his older brother, Tom, and I play Tom. And he doesn't have anybody. He gets bullied on by the neighborhood kids, so he doesn't really have anybody to talk to about this sadness and this grief and this loss that he's experiencing, and it sort of bottles up. And then he befriends this witch monster creature that lives in the woods, and then they have this bizarre friendship for a while, and then bad things start happening, and the boy tries to stop the witch, and then by the end of the movie, the cool thing, and I'm not giving anything away.
Yeah, don't give it away. Don't give it away.
I'm not giving anything away, but the cool thing about this movie is what it says about grief and trauma.
Right.
And by the end of the movie, you don't know if the witch was, the audience can decide for themselves. You don't know if the witch was ever really there, or if it was the manifestation of this boy dealing with this grief and this trauma.
Right. So it's kind of a twist in there.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a twist, but I didn't give anything away because it's very much like a choose your own adventure. You decide what's going on kind of thing.
Right.
And that's what I like about the movie. It has everything that's going to make a movie that is like commercially horror fans are going to go see it and be like, okay, I'm satisfied. It had everything that I want. But it also comments on bullying and grief and loss and, toxic masculinity, kind of with like the older brother. I play the older brother who they live in a rundown home. He's a blue collar construction worker. He's doing the best he can, trying to take care of his little brother. But he doesn't really offer him any sort of emotional support because he himself doesn't have that. He himself was never taught to be like this caretaker. He's sort of thrust into the role as a parent. So he's doing the best he can, but this kid needs more. So, comments on a lot of things in a way that doesn't beat you over the head with it. It just sort of is like, look, these people are going through this story in a very human way. And I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, well, that sounds cool. Let me ask you another question before we go. I mean, you're kind of young, and seems like you've got a lot going on in the acting business. Who is one of the actors that you would like to act with at one point, excluding Nicolas Cage, because everybody always picks Nicolas Cage? I'm just kidding. I just throw that in there, but anyway.
Yeah. What if I said Nicolas Cage? No, I'm just kidding. I actually, fun fact, I did a movie with Nicolas Cage's son, Weston Cage Coppola. I did a war movie with him. Interesting guy. He's a nice guy. I would have to say, and I know it's sort of such like an easy answer, but Tom Hanks is somebody that I've always wanted to act with. Just seeing his evolution over the years with the movies that he's done. Everywhere from like that movie Big, where he played, I
love it. Yeah.
All the way to like Forrest Gump. I remember sitting on the couch with my family watching Forrest Gump, and that was one of the movies that made me want to be an actor, because I was like, this is such an interesting journey that this guy goes on, and it, like, Tom Hanks is just such one of those actors that completely transforms himself with every role he does. Even to like Captain Phillips and some of the recent
stuff. Yeah, he can do it all. Yeah, and you're pretty versatile too. I mean, after all the movies that you've been involved in, but it's just the list goes on, and hopefully continue going on and on. But anyway, now this movie and stuff that we got coming out, all the listeners out there, if they want to follow you or get on and see what's going on with Mike Manning, what do they need to do? Where do they go to?
I have a website. It's mikemanning.info. And then I'm also on social media, just Mike Manning everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. So pretty easy.
And honestly, I'll have to say, if you Google Mike Manning, your face comes up pretty quick. So that's
yeah, I'm doing something right then, I
guess. Yeah. And as my wife said, he's cute as a button. That's a good thing down here in the South, being cute as a button.
Yeah. I wonder where that came from. Like a button.
I don't know. It's got to be some old wives' tale. But anyway, Mike, we have got to get off, man. I appreciate your time, no doubt about it, and you've been great. And I'll be looking forward to this movie, Slapface. Yeah. And hopefully we'll lose 2 or 3 nights of sleep after we watch it. We'll be scared to death so bad.
There you go. I love that. Well, thank you, Steven, so much. God bless. It was a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully I'll connect with you again in the future.
Oh, yeah, we'll get you back on, see what's going on with the next movie you got coming out.
Sounds good.
All right, man, you take care.